Never did I imagine that a single phrase could unravel the very fabric of my convictions. A beautifully crafted phrase. Yet, amidst allure, desire, and unexpected repercussions. It all began on a sultry evening at the office, where the air was thick with unspoken desires. As I tidied my desk after a long day, a rich, velvety voice floated in from behind me, stirring a delightful sense of intrigue. "My dear Laura, might I steal a moment of your time?" I turn around to find myself face to face with Daniel Carter, the enigmatic CEO of the company and my direct superior for the past decade. At 58, he exuded a captivating confidence and undeniable authority, a testament to a man who had crafted his empire with sheer determination and skill. Little did I know that the conversation we were about to share tonight would alter the course of everything. "You've put in so much effort," Vincent remarked, his gaze captivating and intense. "Your allure is undeniable, and I believe the moment has come for you to embrace the chance you truly merit." My heart raced with fervor. It was a moment I had longed for, a tantalizing anticipation that had lingered for years. "But why at this moment? Are you yearning for a more elevated status?" He continued, his voice smooth and inviting. "A secluded office, a salary that dazzles, and the power to influence grand ventures?" I nodded, my heart fluttering with a hint of trepidation. "Certainly, but what is it about me that draws you in?" Vincent smiled with an enigmatic charm. "For I am convinced that you are the most exquisite choice for this endeavor." I sensed that his proposals were always laced with intention. There was always an alluring mystery hidden within those ambiguous phrases. I found myself unable to say no. This was my sole opportunity to break free from the confines of my present circumstances. "Jax." The weight of mounting hospital bills pressed heavily upon me, leaving me utterly drained, both in body and spirit. "What are your thoughts, my dear?" he inquired, his voice a sultry whisper, rich with unspoken intentions. I inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. "I must inquire about the conditions." Vincent's smile grew more enchanting. "I desire your unwavering devotion, Laura." A delightful shiver coursed through me. What could that possibly signify? The exchange lingered on, stretching into a few more tantalizing minutes. Silence lingered in the air, unspoken words weaving a tapestry of intrigue. No stipulations were expressed. Yet, an unspoken understanding lingered in the air. I had shed my innocence. I understood the intricacies of the world around me. I understood that some desires elude the grasp of mere diligence. But was I prepared to embrace the cost of such a tantalizing affair? "I'm merely inviting you, Laura," Vincent murmured, his lips brushing the rim of the glass as he savored the rich wine. "It's merely a proposition. However, I suggest you ponder this deeply, for chances such as this are rare and may not present themselves again." I rose to my feet, my thoughts swirling in a dizzying dance. I was aware of the words that danced on the tip of my tongue. I ought to decline without hesitation, adhere to my convictions. Instead, I simply replied, "I'll ponder it for a while." Vincent nodded, his gaze piercing through the veil of my innermost musings. "I eagerly await your response." I departed from the office, clutching a crisp $100 bill. Whispers of desire danced through my mind. The suggestion lingered in my mind, a tantalizing melody that I found impossible to dismiss. I glided through the hallway, acutely aware of a gaze lingering upon me. I gently dismissed the thought, convincing myself that my imagination was simply running wild. Upon my return, I found Jack, ensconced in the shadows. He had lost the spark that once captivated my heart. Since the incident, he had grown aloof, as though he had forsaken his very essence. "Ah, you've kept me waiting, have you?" His voice was a sultry whisper, laced with an intriguing detachment. I offered a subtle smile, concealing the turmoil within. "The tasks ahead are quite abundant." Jack nodded, then turned to the window, a silent agreement hanging in the air, leaving unspoken desires lingering between them. I gazed at him for a fleeting moment, searching for the elusive spark that bound us together. Yet it had gradually lost its luster over the years. I entered the bedroom, gently closed the door behind me, and surrendered myself to the softness of the bed. Vincent desired my unwavering devotion. But how, my dear? Am I indulging in too much contemplation? Or is he, perhaps, presenting me with a test of virtue? I gazed at the ceiling, a swirl of emotions dancing within me. I felt an undeniable urge to uncover the truth. Yet, I found myself questioning whether it was truly the response my heart desired to reveal. I awoke to a weighty sensation nestled in my heart. Last night, I found myself lost in contemplation of Vincent's enticing proposal. It remained shrouded in mystery. It lacked a certain clarity. Yet beneath the surface of his words, I sensed a yearning for something beyond mere loyalty. I reassured myself that I was under no compulsion to acquiesce. But was that truly the case? If I were to decline, would that jeopardize my chances for advancement? Could I carry on with this endeavor without it leaving its mark on me? And if I were to acquiesce, what would be the true cost of such a decision? I propped myself up and gazed at Jack, a spark of intrigue dancing in the air between us. He lay there in slumber, his visage serene yet bearing the weight of time more than ever. I longed for the moments when he enveloped me in his embrace, offering both comfort and a sense of security. Yet, ever since that fateful incident, an undeniable chasm has formed between us. He slowly faded from my life, and in his absence, I began to embrace the bittersweet solitude that enveloped my once vibrant home. Text the following day, I found myself at the office, well before the usual hour. I craved a moment to gather my thoughts before our next encounter, the anticipation of seeing Vincent again stirring a delightful tension within me. Yet, an undeniable flutter of apprehension danced within me as I strolled through the dimly lit hallway. Did I catch the gaze of others for an unusually prolonged moment? Or was it merely a figment of my desire? As I opened my inbox, a tantalizing email from Vincent caught my eye. I trust you've given some consideration to my enticing proposition. If you're able, rendezvous with me at the office at 7 this evening so we can delve deeper into the matter. I inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. A part of me yearned to turn a blind eye to it. Yet, a whisper within me beckoned to truly understand his desires before I committed to a choice. As the afternoon sun cast a warm glow, I stepped out of the conference room and unexpectedly encountered Sophie, a cherished colleague whose presence always ignites a spark of intrigue. She gazed at me with an intriguing expression. "My dear Laura, are you feeling all right?" she inquired with a hint of allure. I furrowed my brow. "Absolutely. What compels you to inquire?" Sophie glanced around, her eyes sparkling with mischief as she drew me closer, her voice a sultry whisper. "It may just be my fanciful mind, but I've sensed a shift in the way my boss gazes upon you lately." My heart raced with an intoxicating thrill. "What do you imply?" She lingered, caught in a moment of uncertainty. "It's simply that he typically doesn't show much interest in others." "Are you quite certain that there's nothing beneath the surface?" I offered a gentle smile, attempting to maintain an air of nonchalance. "Your thoughts remain a mystery to me, yet they seem to hold no substance. He's merely exploring, enticing new possibilities." Sophie remained somewhat uncertain, yet she chose to remain silent on the matter. I exhaled softly, a wave of relief washing over me. If Sophie could perceive this, perhaps I ought to tread more lightly. The clock chimed softly, marking the arrival of 7 p.m. I lingered before Vincent's office door, my heart racing with an exhilarating anticipation. I could simply turn and walk away at this very moment. Yet I refrained. I found myself yearning for the truth, a desire that stirred deep within me. I gently rapped on the door before stepping inside. Vincent lounged in his chair, his gaze fixed on me with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine as I glided toward his desk. "I'm delighted you could join me," he murmured, his voice smooth and composed, like a gentle caress in the evening air. I took a seat, maintaining an air of serene composure. "I would be delighted to learn more about your intriguing proposal." Vincent smiled, his hands delicately intertwined, a hint of mischief dancing in his eyes. "I'm certain you possess the intellect to grasp my intentions, Laura, and I believe you understand the subtle implications of my words. I tightened my grip, a surge of emotion coursing through me. What is it that you desire from me? He gazed at me for an exquisite eternity before responding. I long for a companion to share my journey with, a confidant in whom I can place my utmost trust. I believe you are the ideal person for such a delightful endeavor. A delightful shiver coursed through me, igniting a thrilling tension along my spine. I believe my position does not necessitate such a thing. Vincent tilted his head, his gaze piercing and filled with intrigue. Oh, certainly not. You've put in so much effort, and I wish to ensure you receive the rewards you truly deserve. He lingered for a moment, then resumed his words. Yet, my dear Laura, the world is not solely defined by our endeavors. At times, daring choices can transform everything. I inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. And if I were to decline, Vincent offered a nonchalant shrug, a hint of mischief dancing in his eyes. It would certainly leave me feeling rather let down. Yet, I cannot compel your heart. Yet, all I can express is, such rare chances are not easily found again. An enchanting hush enveloped us. I was fully aware of his intentions. This was merely a whisper of intent. However, a gentle caution. To refuse could mean sealing the door to opportunity, perhaps for all time. I departed the office, my thoughts swirling in a delightful haze. A part of me yearned to unleash a tempest of frustration. What could possibly be the reason? Must I truly endure this predicament? I poured my heart and soul into my work, and yet my ascent came with an alluring yet unexpected twist. Yet a different part of my soul inquired, what if this were my sole opportunity? Was I prepared to relinquish it? Upon my return, Jack awaited my arrival with an air of anticipation. He gazed at me intently for a lingering moment and remarked, You appear a bit anxious. Is there something amiss, my dear? A soft smile graced my lips as I gently shook my head, a hint of mischief dancing in my eyes. Silence envelopes the moment, a delicate pause that speaks volumes. It has been quite an exhausting day. He inclined his head with a knowing smile. Yet, I could sense the lingering doubt in his gaze. I found myself unable to reveal the truth to him. Not at this moment. Perhaps not at all. I reclined on the bed, caught in a tantalizing dilemma, as if two alluring paths beckoned me to choose. One path was a sanctuary. Ethics. Beliefs that have long held my heart captive. The alternative route. It was an opportunity to transform my existence. Yet alongside it arrived certain intrigues I never imagined I would encounter. I gently shut my eyes. Inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. Is it wise to embrace Vincent's enticing proposal? I awoke with a weight upon my heart, more profound than ever before. Reflections on my enchanting exchange with Vincent continuously danced through my thoughts, lingering in my thoughts like an intoxicating dream that refuses to fade. The night was restless, filled with thoughts that danced just beyond my reach. It was clear to me that I stood at a pivotal moment where choices danced tantalizingly before me. A choice that may alter the very course of my destiny. My gaze fell upon Jack. He lay in a deep slumber, his breaths a soft, rhythmic whisper in the night. I found myself pondering, if Jack were in my place, what might he choose to do? Would he be inclined to embrace the sacrifice that could lead us to a more enchanting existence together? Or would he remain steadfast in his convictions and embrace this challenging existence? I was unaware. Yet, deep down, I understood that I could no longer evade the inevitable. Departed. That morning, I approached my work with an exhilarating sense of anticipation. I had resolved my heart's desire. I could no longer linger in anticipation, conflicted by decisions I had yet to embrace. As I stepped into my office, I noticed a new email from Vincent waiting in my inbox, igniting a flutter of intrigue within me. Merely a fleeting whisper. This evening. Sevener. My sanctuary of ambition. No additional words were offered. No additional information provided. Yet, I was fully aware of his desires. The remainder of the day unfolded in a haze of unease, a delicate tension lingering in the air. My thoughts wandered, elusive and unanchored, slipping through my fingers like whispers in the night. Whispers of uncertainty danced through my mind, echoing with an alluring persistence. Am I making the right choice or stepping into forbidden territory? Is this a chance for enchantment or a seductive snare? Sophie, my dear. It was evident that something was amiss within me. My dearest Laura, are you feeling well? I offered a delicate smile, tinged with a hint of vulnerability. Feeling a bit weary. She regarded me for a moment, her gaze lingering as if she were attempting to decipher the secrets of my thoughts, yet she chose not to probe further. The clock chimed softly, marking the arrival of 7. I lingered before Vincent's office door, inhaling deeply as anticipation coursed through me before I finally rapped my knuckles against the polished wood. Step inside. His voice resonated with a rich depth, commanding attention with an alluring authority. I entered, gently shutting the door, with a soft click behind me. Vincent stood by the window, his hands casually tucked in his pockets, gazing out at the city with an air of intrigue. He hesitated, allowing the moment to linger before finally turning around. The air hung heavy with an exquisite stillness. At last, his voice broke the silence. It seems you've pondered this deeply. I nodded, my voice steady and composed. I yearn to comprehend the depths of this mystery. What implications arise when I utter the word yes? Vincent glanced over his shoulder, his piercing gaze lingering on my every gesture. It signifies that all your desires will be fulfilled. An elevated status. A life imbued with a sense of tranquility and assurance. And above all, you have me by your side. I took a deep breath. He uttered it with such poise, as though it were merely a routine exchange. Yet, to my heart, it felt anything but ordinary. I inhaled deeply, savoring the moment. I'm uncertain if I can embrace this moment. Vincent drew nearer, his voice a sultry whisper. Laura, you possess a remarkable intellect. I can sense that you are fully aware of the unspoken truths between us. I would never wish to impose upon you in any way that doesn't align with your desires. I'm merely extending an invitation to you. A different path awaits. I gently shut my eyes for a fleeting moment, savoring the allure of the unknown. A different path awaits. A whisper of temptation danced within me, beckoning with an irresistible allure. Yet there exists another facet. The essence of my being, which I had always held dear, was whispering urgently for me to retreat. And I decided to indulge in the whispers of the heart. I fluttered my lashes open, my gaze locking onto Vincent's captivating presence. I am truly grateful for the enticing opportunity you present. Yet, I find myself unable to proceed with this. I cannot exchange my essence for a more elevated status. A hush enveloped the room, thick with unspoken desires. Vincent gazed at me, his eyes lingering with an intensity that felt both thrilling and forbidden. And then he offered a gentle smile, full of unspoken promises. It seems I may have misjudged your allure. I found myself pondering the true essence of that statement. Yet, I found myself unbothered by it all. I had come to my conclusion. I rose to my feet. My deepest gratitude, Vincent. It seems our delightful exchange has reached its conclusion. He inclined his head with a knowing smile. Wishing you all the best, dear Laura. Yet, keep in mind, not all are afforded the luxury of a second chance. As I stepped out of the office, a delightful sense of liberation enveloped me, as if the burdens of the day had been gracefully cast aside. I had firmly declined. I had maintained my composure. I returned home later than I typically do. Jack awaited my arrival, his gaze brimming with a mix of worry and something more tantalizing. Are you feeling all right, my dear? He inquired, his voice laced with intrigue. I acquiesced with a subtle tilt of my head. I am quite well, thank you. Today has been quite the endeavor. Jack's gaze lingered on me, a heavy sigh escaping his lips, filled with unspoken thoughts. Though I cannot fathom the depths of your experiences, I trust that your choice was a wise one. I lingered for a moment. What do you imply? He offered a gentle, knowing smile. My dearest Laura, our acquaintance has spanned a delightful stretch of time, just enough to sense when you're grappling with a challenge. I prefer to remain blissfully unaware of the particulars. Yet, I am certain you would never betray your own essence. And that fills me with a delightful sense of pride. A delicate ache tightened within me. That took me by surprise. Among all the souls in my life, it is Jack who ignites a spark of self-belief within me. I gracefully settled beside him, intertwining my fingers with his. My deepest gratitude to you. Jack's fingers intertwined with mine, a silent promise lingering in the air. That night, I surrendered to a slumber more profound than I had ever known. I was blissfully unaware of the secrets the future had in store for me. Perhaps I shall never ascend to the pinnacle of the company. Perhaps Vincent would devise a way to complicate matters for me. Yet, there was one truth that lingered in my heart. I had not yet surrendered my essence, and that held greater significance than all else. We are truly grateful for your presence and for indulging in our tale today. Your support means the world to us, and we are truly grateful for it. Yet, we wish to highlight that this tale is entirely a product of imagination, unanchored by any true occurrences. Yet, within the folds of this tale, we wish to pose a question. When confronted with a challenging choice, will you remain true to your convictions or embrace the allure of compromise? We invite you to express your musings in the comments below. Do you find yourself drawn to Laura's plight? How would you respond if you found yourself in a comparable circumstance? Be sure to show your affection by liking and subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to ring the notification bell, ensuring you remain enchanted by our upcoming tales. Until we meet once more.